So, it occurred to me I've been doing characters that people predominantly seem to like, apparently. So, I thought I'll take a break from that. I'll do a character that people just really don't give a crap. I can say whatever about them, and they'd be like, yeah, okay, fine. But I mean, what character would that be? I mean, they're generally all meant to be likable. So I was going down my list of characters, and shut up, Mariachi Owls! And put a lot of thought of. Now, usually when I choose to review a character, it's because their developmental needs are being entirely ignored, the character's being steered or tormented by the plot, or the character's development is being driven to push a message or a moral. Not so with Rango. Honestly, I had no idea if any of those criteria were of concern because the second the movie ended, I completely forgot about him. And I always enjoy watching this film. Nearly every aspect of it is memorable. Except for the main character. Which is unusual. Mainstream animation is usually so desperate for their characters to be liked it borders on off-putting.
Sorry. Guess I'm just a little bit jumpy.
But this is a grudgy, smoking hot, robber busting, hot wrangling, roadrunner riding, kill or be killed western. How can this guy not be interesting?
Hark! Who goes there? 'Tis I, the much-anticipated hero returning to rescue his emotionally unstable maiden. Unhand her, you jailers of virtue, or taste the bitter sting of my vengeance. The sting of my... People, we've talked about this. Acting is reacting. What's that, Victor? My character is undefined? That's absurd.
Yeah. You got me. I wasn't expecting that. Very good. Now, why don't we get back to the subject of who the hell is this? What am I looking at? Why this self-awareness? What's with the storytelling 101 session? I mean, do you want to take notes? Do you want me to start writing this down?
I know who I am.
Noted.
I'm the guy, the protagonist, the hero. Every story needs a hero. I mean, who else is better qualified to bask in the adulation of his numerous companions?
Lonely. Yeah, but Nameless Lizard is not just lonely. He's also undergoing some sort of existential conundrum.
The stage is waiting. Who am I? I could be anyone.
Which to me implies that he's not happy with his actual wimpy sort of whoopee personality we've seen till now.
I could be the sea captain returning from a mighty voyage.
Well, that sounds far more interesting than what we've got so far. Why didn't you just make your animated film about that?
I could be the rogue anthropologist battling pythons down in the Congo.
Or that.
You know, the women's find me uncomfortably good looking.
You couldn't decide? Did you write this scene from a brainstorming session or something and you just forgot to actually write the first scene? What if our character thinks he could be anybody, but isn't anybody because he's like pretending to be everybody?
What are you doing? That tickles. Are those real? That's it. Conflict. Victor, you were right. I have been undefined. People, I've had an epiphany. The hero cannot exist in a vacuum. What our story needs is an ironic, unexpected event that will propel the hero into conflict.
Is there any possible way I could pretend none of that just happened? An ironic, unexpected event to propel the character. No! You're doing it wrong! Ironic, unexpected events to propel the character into conflict are my bane! I mean...
that will propel the hero into conflict.
Hear that? Oh, that's the plot coming to get you, because you can't get yourself into your own story. Look, here it comes, barreling down the road, just like I always imagined it would look. Plot! No, really, if you can't actually get your character to move themselves into their own story, at least even part of the way, why should any of us care?
Are you okay?
I must get to the other side.
Just now that was you crossing the road?
This is my quest. He waits for me. The spirit of the West, amigo.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Enlightenment.
Oh, kill me.
We are nothing without it.
For crying out loud, is that what this is gonna be?
We all have our journeys to make. The spirit of the West, the other side, enlightenment, destiny, metaphor. The path to knowledge is my quest, the one. I will see you on the other side.
Oh, shut up. I can't do fatalism, I'm sorry. Destiny and fate and all that romantic bullshit, there's no character development in that. There's no challenge, there's no taking responsibilities for your decisions because you're not making decisions, you're just traipsing along looking for signs. So next we get an extended sequence of nameless lizards struggling to survive in the desert without water, without shade, with only a vague sense of which direction he's headed in. He starts hallucinating, he starts consuming heat stroke. I'm kidding. That is all shelved in favor of a hilarious chase sequence with a hawk.
Oh, Testy.
And is he at all traumatized by nearly being killed and eaten? I don't know. You would think, but the only hint as to how this character is affected by his experience is a brief couple seconds of, phew, that was close. And any remote sense of concern or empathy we could be feeling is drowned out by Johnny Depp's phony yelling. Stop it! Next he has a nightmare full of strange, dreamlike surrealism, which I assume is meant to represent the character's anxieties. But it's all still just a detached, abstract idea from the character. We don't actually see this guy experiencing these emotions. We understand somewhat what he worries about because you keep telling us.
Where are your friends now, amigo?
Though it's still only about a fraction of what he probably should be worrying about. Like, dehydration, getting lost, the color fading from your shirt. We're not in this guy's head. We're just watching him do stuff because he happens to be on screen. Come on, make me care. I mean, you're not even trying.
What are you involved in?
I'm glad you asked. I've got 2 one-acts, a mystery, and a musical I've been gestating. I got the words. I'm just kind of working on the melody right now. It's like I think it's going to be a western. A monkey got a cracker. His mother was a sluffer. She'll be coming round the mountain in the rain.
Ah, that's why. Guys, don't write a character just to correct them. Don't do it. Aren't you entertained? Look how quirky and eccentric he is. Don't worry, we're gonna fix him. It just comes off as the creators are like, we're just gonna take this kind of people that we don't really approve of and develop them into these kinds of people we do approve of. Which is way more pathetic than anything your stupid dancing lizard could come up with.
You ain't from round here, are you?
Oh, female character! I can't freaking see.
So you get up real slow. Lesson you want to spend the better part of the afternoon putting your face back together.
Brash toughness to overcompensate being the only female in the movie.
And for you to insinuate that he would abandon his parental responsibilities at a delicate time of my
Emotional
personal
vulnerability.
My daddy plumb loved that baby. My daddy was never near that mind. My daddy was a great man.
Motivated by father figure.
It's an affront to my sense of...
Miss Payne. Hello. You were frozen.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes, you were. You stopped talking.
Well, it's a defense mechanism.
A magical curse or handicap beyond their control. Wow. You guys are pushing the envelope, aren't you? Well done. God. She's even got red hair. Glad I didn't get my hopes up. Alright, well, never mind you. Let's get back to what's-his-face.
Actually, one of the few men with a maiden name.
Whoa, well, here we are.
So, Nameless Lizard wanders into the town of Dirt, which is suffering a major drought and all of its citizens are desperate.
Can't grow no crops without no water.
After he wanders into a saloon and realizes that...
You're a long ways from home, ain't ya?
And goes into another one of his existential trances.
You missing your mommy's mangoes?
As much as your daddy's cooking!
And because Nameless Idiot is an idiot, chameleon, his first instinct is to lie, blend in.
Where did you say you were from?
I'm from the west. Out there, beyond the horizon.
Where bullshit layeth aplenty.
Place I come from, we kill a man before breakfast just to work up an appetite.
When you get those manly urges, and you just gotta kill something.
Then we braise him in clarified butter.
Cook outdoors.
Are you the fella that killed them Jenkins brothers?
Killed him with one bullet.
Oh, 7 of them.
Yeah. He thinks there's a difference between blending in and flat out lying.
Name's Rango.
Tempting. No, still not as accurate as a Nameless Idiot. Unless this is another attempt to kind of blur the lines between acting and personality development. Because, acting is only acting if the audience knows you're acting. Otherwise, it's just lying!
Bullet hits the shovel, ricochets back towards number 3, and that's when the roof caved in.
I have to admit, though, his acting is very convincing.
Chill. Just a second.
Except...
I take large steps, and I don't want none of you hayseeds getting your bodily fluids on my boots. Yes, of course he is. Of course that's what he's doing. Give him here, Rango!
Would it help to confuse it if we ran away more?
We can't make the plot work unless everyone's a complete idiot! Is that what we're gonna do? Is that what this movie's gonna be? Oh, good. You're hiding in the box? Where he can see you? Why wouldn't you hide behind the box? Anyways, you can see how this is going. Eventually he's cornered, he goes to try and shoot the thing, the bullet ricochets off the horseshoes the writers have lodged up his ass, collapses the water tower, and accidentally kills the hawk.
Get it with one bullet.
And of course everyone's all like,
About time we had a hero around here.
Let's hear it for Rango!
seriously, if these people weren't... what's the word?
Single file while I take a brief intervention!
What's he doing now?
I think it's a number 2.
Naive? They should be able to see right through Rango the Nameless Idiot's bullshit, and the film would be radically different following this scene. It's not like he doesn't know. He's got to have some idea that these people are gullible beyond reason, and he's satisfying his yearning for companionship and adulation at their expense, right? Actually, that sounds like an interesting conflict.
I think it's time he met the mayor.
They believe that the water will come. People have to believe in something. Right now, they believe in you.
So I hope that you're not in any way faking it, because that would just really bum everybody out.
Do you know how they make it through each and every day? They believe. Pick it up, Mr. Rango. Your destiny awaits.
I said that sounds like an interesting conflict.
They believe in you.
No, not even a little. Okay. It's not like we, the audience, are the only ones who know. He knows perfectly well he didn't earn any of these honors. He landed this gig as a fluke. And we know that he knows. He knows that through his own incompetence, dishonesty, and selfishness, that he's meddled in the extremely fragile lives of dozens of gullible people. And now, having been charged with not only keeping everyone's spirits high, but also protecting them and their interests at all costs, all by accident, you'd think his reaction would be... okay, well, not that. I mean, it's one thing to have all this fall into his lap by, one thing leads to another, ridiculousness, but there still has to be a shred of humanity inside this guy for us to see. He doesn't even hesitate. There's no emotional foreshadowing that he worries about failing or being caught out as a fraud or, I don't know, hurting people and making everything worse, which is the far more likely outcome.
Excuse me, Sheriff Rango.
Hey, Beans! What do you think of the new duds? I got a 10-gallon hat marked down from 15.
That's nice.
You want the old John Hancock, do you?
Sheriff Rango! I am trying to save my daddy's ranch.
Look at this. He's so absorbed by his own delusions that any of this is rightfully his cause to pursue. Or, I don't know, that he thinks it must be a sign of a great destiny suddenly laid out before him. And he forgot to actually make a brief sideways glance to wonder if he shouldn't get out now before...
First the banks run dry. She said there's no water in the bank!
Let's say this fella here were to take a drink of water. And you! So you belly on up and take you a double shot. Stay with me. And before you know it, there wouldn't be any more water. And then where would we be? We'd be thirsty.
How is it Beans is the only one in the entire town who seems to realize that this guy could potentially make their situation worse? They keep their water in a bank. That's someone's property. Gone.
My 100% full-time employment from this moment on will be to protect our precious natural resource.
The bank's being robbed!
Yep. At what is so far the peak of his idiocy...
You got your shovel, pickaxe, Benadryl, loofah, sorted snacks, some puzzle books, and you're gonna need a permit.
He mistakes bank robbers for prospectors, hands them a permit, and directs them to the bank, which they then rob.
Clear the area. This is a crime scene now. Secure the perimeter, dust for prints, check for fibers, scan for DNA. I want a urine sample from everyone and get me a latte.
This film...
Prospecting permit.
I'll take that. Material evidence.
It's just like introspection, confliction, the character taking responsibility for his actions.
Hey, he said the bank's been robbed!
Okay, guy, you are now solely responsible for ruining everyone's lives. Can I get a sigh, maybe?
What's this? Prospecting permit.
I'll take that.
A small head shake, an unconscious blink of guilt. Any indication that this guy has a shred of compassion for others and is not a blithering psychopath.
The banks be robbed, the town is dry, will die of thirst, the people cry.
Oh, well, as long as the owls know he's a complete nincompoop, we know the film must be wasting our time on purpose. That's what makes it funny, right? It's all about the concept. I get the comedy aspect of this film, I do. But there's still a huge portion of the film that wants to be taken seriously, that wants to jump up and say, I'm not just another animated film. Hell, I'm not just another film. I'm here to subvert something. But because our central character is trapped in the revolving doors of being a gag generator, the novelty of the story itself relies on him staying the incompetent twit. I mean, the entire time they're searching for the bandits that took the water, it's all the townspeople and the side characters coming up with the ideas.
So which way do you think they went? You want to sniff the air or commune with a buffalo or something?
Okay, somebody just please shoot him.
Ooh, you're good.
Shouldn't we actually like this character by now? Is he going to actually develop at some point? Does any of this lead anywhere?
Ow, my eye! What are you going to do about Rattlesnake Jake?
Jake? You mean my brother.
Your brother?
That's what I said! Luckily, I'm immune to his venom. Put some in my coffee just to give it a little time.
Sorry, can I just pause it right there? Beans, that's amazing. That's the movie. That's still right there. Yes.
I'd like us all to join hands for a moment. Say a few words to the spirit of the West. It's a hard life we got. Sometimes I don't know how we're gonna make it. Somehow, Sheriff Rango makes me think we will. We needed a brave man, and you sent us one. Nice to have someone to believe in again.
Yeah, you hang your head. I'm sorry. He spends 90% of his screen time playing pretend cowboy and lying to these people's faces.
But he's a snake and you're a lizard.
Mama had an active social life.
But, I mean, at least we're finally going to see this character acknowledge his actions, and we can assume that he knows what a dinkbag he's being, so yeah, it's about time, let's do this! I'll just write that down, shall I? Rango is sad. Oh boy. We see he's sad. The rest is guesswork. I presume it's guilt. Guilt for what? For only pretending to be the hero they really need? For spewing out a whole slew of new ass-faced lies?
Did he ever bite you?
Sure enough did. Look at that baby.
You, sir, have screwed up royally, acted like a colossal dink while you're at it. The amount of emotions this asshole should be dealing with right now are not encompassed in 2 seconds of him looking sad. I can't even get all pent up because I don't care.
All this talk of that serpentine devil's putting my quills on edge.
I care about them. They don't exist in a vacuum. They have an actual crisis on their hands.
No, we're pretty isolated out there on the ranch, sort of like being sealed up in a little box.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
So they're reminding us of the loneliness thing again.
You ever get lonely?
Sometimes.
Wow, it's been like an hour since we dealt with the loneliness thing. Yes. I don't care. We know why he's doing this. We know he's doing this out of loneliness and friendlessness. People do a lot of stupid, ill-considered things out of loneliness and friendlessness. Like dress up like a Muppet and scream at a webcam on the internet. We know why he's doing this. Eventually you're going to have to move on to the what am I going to do about it part. And I know I'm sick of myself bitching about how he treats these people's lives like a game, but that's all the character has to work with. If he were developing properly, we'd be way past this. We should be here.
Jasmine, there's something I gotta tell you.
But instead we're here.
Tell her the truth!
No way!
I can't imagine it. You're such a charmer and everyone likes you so much.
Beans, no! Beans was the only one in the entire town who actually suspected he was a phony, then suddenly, BAM! Her suspicions dropped for no goddamn reason.
You know, it's an awful solitary existence out there on the prairie. Beans?
Creepy dude. Like, wait till she's awake at least. And shouldn't I be feeling a connection between these two? They have things in common, yet we might as well have been watching a cow knock its head against a barn door for how romantic that was. Maybe it's his eyes. Beans and the others are so expressive, their eyes are so big, and Rango just has these teeny little peepholes. His windows to the soul are 1/2 inch in diameter. How very fitting.